this is a part 2 to the other one that I just did. So go back and look at the first one if you want to be a good supporter, okay? If not, fine. I already know that people have been shadow banning all of my social medias because I'm far too competent at the end of the day. I spy with my little eye something beginning with C. It's somebody who is losing cult-like stability. I got asked to bring out at the end of this the nerd deck, okay? Because this is a very big spiritual crime that happened. Intelligence in the upright, okay? Just culling back in the energy. Cool. There's a culling happening in relation to some spiritual practice that will no longer be able to actually take place in certain geographical locations in 2025 onwards, respectively. The legal structures are now going to support the independent rights of independent people, allegedly. Locked message, so it's timely. For those that follow other paths, whether it be Megatron or Metatron, you see, how are you timely, okay? Beans in reverse. Beans, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So beans, beans for every meal. Cowboys are significant for somebody today because a lot of the time when people were out on the wildlands, they would only have campfire meals that would be, yeah, woman in the upright, okay? So one of the people in this case is actually a high profile woman to her disgrace. Strong, yeah. Which means that she's going to have an issue now, all told, because the masculine tried to hide behind her survivor skills in order to be brave and bold. Otter in the upright, okay, which means that I'm being told to set that aside with feel. Because they're going to now have to feel with the large repercussions of the challenges that they've brought into their own lives at the end of the day, because the mask is no longer holding sway, which means that the woman is a bitch, and yeah, the change is going to have to happen in a World Wide Web capacity, because the legal implications means that the UK is in reverse and they don't have the authority, and the dark space of their machinations are going to be exposed, because this one chose to choose a dark path when she arose. She is one of those people at the end of the day who will quietly sit on top of trafficking rings and have masculines be her runner at the end of the day. Fear. She's now afraid. She's now big afraid because her health is in reverse. She's hoping that she can find some other way to quench her thirst. She's now looking at the natural properties of herbal remedies and flora and fauna in a different way in order to try and reset her nervous system. Because the crow sees that the eco in reverse, okay? So the nature of, dogs in reverse and twin, okay? Her bully boy tactics and wielding others in a certain way is not going to be able to keep her out of trouble. She's going to have to turn over information, I'm being told today, because she's going to have to turn state witness if she's going to protect her reputation in any kind of way. Pen in reverse, you see. Apparently she also stole somebody else's intellectual property. I'm being told to split eel in reverse too. Railroads are significant, okay? Because I nearly said iron, which is iron at the end of the day. So this is something where the narrative is not going to work, okay? She's going to try and blame her generational wounds on the reason why she chose to force other feminine energies into being enslaved in some kind of way. Beta in reverse today. Yeah, and this is the problem, okay, because now that it's known that the masculines were the beta and she was the sigma, which means that the game is not going to work out in her favor today, because the abuse that she is trying to darvo is shown, okay? It's shown that she's part of the issue, okay? It's shown that she has been communicating with people in order to be able to people movement, okay? She has been involved in trafficking in a big bad way. She's helped had people, yeah, screen in the upright, okay. She's helped had people be unalived in other countries while giving them the hope of a new life, actually. Cow in reverse, you see. The reason why I'm saying this is because I love people, even if people don't show love and respect for me. Lust. This is part of the problem, okay? Those rings operate purely on this type of energy, and they'll use anybody they can get their hands on, respectfully. But there's certain types of people with certain types of gifts, all told. And some of us, when we have certain connotations in a spiritual context, it can be especially brave and bold. Right in reverse, you see. Journal in the upright. Okay. There's a book that I really like, and it's by Sebastian de Castelli. And there's things that are prison in reverse, okay? There's things that people will do with certain souls, because some of us, when we embody a certain energy, they will actually try and get us enslaved in the sex industry. Locked message, I'm being told, just split man. So she's going to try and blame the man that trained her, okay? Secret master. She's going to expose him, but she's going to do it to try and get a lighter sentence, okay? Tumblr in reverse today. So she started a campaign on Tumblr in order to discredit somebody else. And she is guilty of stealing this person's wealth. Mats are starting to mat in the upright today. How are you, CIA? And FBI too. Shout out to the Pentagon. I see you. Create in reverse, you see. Somebody is worried about somebody else's judicial capacity in a minimal frame of mind, actually. While some of us knew that society, because Healer just came back out, you see, is not always dependent on technology, which means that we need to be able to have other ways to investigate things, alright? Cookie in the upright. Because if things happen tomorrow, okay, and we all had to go to ground, Angel in the upright today and Twin in reverse, alright? If we all had to go to ground in a big bad way, you need people who have the independent skills without the technology or the virtual presence in order to be able to be consulted in a big bad way. Waves. Ancient powers are significant today. Some people are realizing that Angel in reverse just on the bottom of the deck, okay? Some of our powers, when we come from multiple different lives, okay? There's lives where we have embodied certain energies previously, which means that we don't want to continue to have to be forced to learn in those same structures in this lifetime. Doesn't mean that we don't understand or have empathy. Emotions. Wood. Antarctica in reverse. I am so sorry about the assault that I heard in that station that happened the other day. This is why it's important that you do really strong vetting. LGBTQIA. This is why dogs in reverse too. We need to have emotional support animals in those long-term structures, if you ask me. Or you need to have somebody on the team who is there just purely for entertainment, respectfully. Especially when you know people who have certain patterns in life. Especially when scientists and research folk are trying to be diligent with their site. You need somebody who can, pardon the pun, cut the ice. You can need somebody who knows how to cook more than just rice. And you need somebody who's willing to sing a song or two. Or even make the worst fucking joke when the smell of the fart is PU. Entrapment in reverse, you see. This is the reason why, yeah, Marine in reverse too, actually. A lot of people who strive for high-level positions in certain organizations in life, they work so hard and pressurize themselves that they neglect the soul work required to keep their inner child happy. And this is why, when some people have big emotional tantrums, picture in reverse, you see, they don't want it to be seen publicly. They want to hide it because the professional implications, allegedly. Picture. Australia. Shout out to the Aboriginal people in Australia, okay? They've survived in some of the hardest situations in life. Ireland in reverse, inbox in the upright, and L, okay? I'm hearing the words, you're only an owl fool, okay? Wheel. This is part of the problem in life, is some people will always try and discredit people who have certain gifts. Yeah, wasted in reverse, you see. Some of the worst things, yeah, sanitizing dog out naturally. Some of the worst things in life, I believe, is when people try to discredit people who have high levels of things to add to society. Like I had to express previously, maybe that when we grieve, we abuse people who have really good ability to contribute to society. Like, just because somebody has a disability at the end of the day doesn't mean that they can't do amazing things, okay? I had to talk to somebody a good while back when I had to do a self-advocacy clapback and say, what would you have done with Dr. Stephen Hawking, okay? Would you have not put him on a stage just because of his physical disabilities at the end of the day? When society comes to situations like this, when we are close to the brink of other people not being able to survive this shit, sometimes you need certain people in certain communities, okay, in order to be able to be that guiding light when there is a lack of foresight at the end of the day. Villages are significant today, and yeah, myth in reverse, okay? I always found the M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village, quite interesting, okay? Yeah, vitamins in reverse today. Somebody doesn't know how to look after their health and digestive system naturally. They are heavily dependent on being able to use manufactured products in a way that's actually going to be a challenge, because, you know, these people don't realize at the end of, pardon me, situations in life, that the more independent you are and the more that you can work with certain natural resources, the more that you'll be valuable if certain things happen in society at the end of the day. The more that you can farm the knowledge in yourself, cultivate it for yourself, and learn how to put the appropriate books on your shelf, then it means that you can be a source of knowledge and generational wealth. But going back to the children exposed today, this is the reason why some people want those types unalived intentionally, okay? Codex. Ooh, somebody's now realizing that there was magics thrown over certain hobby items too, in order to utterly discredit a feminine energy who is trans through and through. DNA. This is part of the reason why I really struggle with certain things in life. The amount of people who will use the DNA argument in order to control a situation. We're talking alt-right, okay? They'll do the worst at the end of the day. Key. The thing with DNA though, alright, dice in the upright, is it's important that we understand the nature of science and the ability to study certain things with integrity and ethics and value, actually. Not all genetic conversations are bad. Not all DNA research is not to be had. Not all technologies are wrong. Not all synthetic solutions should be gone. I think though we need to have a lot more clarity and insight. And I think that we need to make sure that when we do these, we do it at the highest level of agreed, deliberately controlled, properly consented to consultation. Alright? VPN. Somebody signed somebody else up for a top in the left ear, for a social medical experiment without their consent, alright? All in the upright. They actually tried to force this person into a very vulnerable situation to then be able to have some kind of a power of attorney over them to prevent them from travelling or having any kind of forward motion in life. Rights in reverse, you see. They didn't have the right to do this person. Plant in reverse. They planted something that, yeah, incognito, okay? This person is a hidden mad scientist who's trying to be hidden from the truth. but the mats are in the upright today. Lust in reverse, you see. This person, yeah, Mexico in reverse. This person doesn't like people south of the border. This person is a Yahtzee. Wolf. A hit dog's gonna holler at the end of the day. The dog in the village is seen, okay? Ireland in the upright, I'm being told to shift it right now. Wheel is moving. Society in reverse. And when I'm talking about society in reverse, you see, I'm talking about toxic structures that prevent women and femme presenting people from being able to speak with autonomy and integrity. Is your peace worth our raping? NDA in reverse. Men experience that too. It's the worst. Religion in reverse, you see. It's part of the reason why I won't be engaging with certain things respectfully. Journal in reverse too. Yeah, and they'll actually suppress it in the algorithms because they don't want you to be buying from independent research institutions too. Incognito. Somebody's quite angry in this energy today. Lust in the upright because somebody is a big bad sex offender in a big bad way. Ireland is protecting a reputation, alright. I can understand that. We need peace, but we also need dignity and respect at the end of the day. Ireland just came back out, okay? And right. So, what frame? Choose the right frame of mind at the end of the day. If your intelligence is too much for some men, then that's their problem. And it's not your fault at the end of the day. Just because you call it out and it's seen to be true, reset. They're going to try and reset your career too. They're going to try and force you to be less than what you are. And that's not fair by far. Car and evidence. Car in reverse and evidence in the upright. Some of them will even weaponize your own family, and I don't think that's right. Child in reverse, you see. Yeah, don't treat us like we're children if we're full-grown adults and you feel like you have to control us in order to protect your reputation, which was already ruined due to the fact that you didn't know your intuition at the end of the day. And sorry if you didn't get to explore your spiritual gifts the way you wanted to this lifetime. Stop trying to live vicariously through somebody else without doing the soul work required. Doesn't mean that you can't just, even if you're retired, choose a new course, study a new book. There's like people in the LGBT community who are still cracking on later on in life. If you don't want to change, then that's your fault at the end of the day. Beans in the upright, okay? Strong. For when it comes to strong beans, you see, I recently disclosed that I do hand blend my coffee. Dear. Here's the thing, okay? Some people will never want others to have success in life, or they don't want them to have any life partners in any way. Yeah, these people are sick, if that's the type of game that you play. Dice, read in reverse. Yeah, they're gambling with somebody else's life, okay? That's how egoic somebody is. That they would unalive somebody else, potentially even their own child, at the end of the day. Green and technical, okay? So, I'm being told that somebody's going to have more support than they realised in a certain perspective. Thank you for those who understand the nature of a global collective. Thank you to those who understand the fact that the planet needs more success, of a natural, encouraging nature and not a diabolical hot mess. Thank you for those who are unearthing and uprooting this corruption. Thank you for those who understand the intermittent disruption. Thank you for those who understand that when it comes to certain fights, we'll never be done. Because we need to protect the children and the young ones. We do. It's true. And they need to learn how to be the survivor that they need. Use the grey rock method. Hold back. Use the jade method too. Watch the signs. Do no contact. make sure it's a game over. If you need a safety order or barring order, or you need to get a private investigator, if you can afford those things at the end of the day, that doesn't make you a bad person if you're the target, okay? Somebody is struggling because the nature of what was done meant that this person has lost a rake load of young people from the cult-like structure that had begun. Yeah, cut off in reverse, you see. Egg in the upright. We have some good dairy in Ireland and some good eggs, actually. Enterprise. Got the best butter too. Cats in reverse. There's some copycats who are not being able to do what other people can do. Post just came out and the flip. Yeah, one of one, that bit. Past, in the past, it needs to stay. I'm being told proverb in the upright today. Table and reel. Fox in reverse. Animation in reverse. And wealth in the upright. Some people will never be happy if they lose in a spiritual fight. And they'll never be happy if their secrets get exposed. Especially if they're pedophiles who associate with the alt-right. I have had people project certain energies over me from a very young age to try and brainwash me into certain types of affectionate displays. I have used those things in order to find people in certain communities, and when people throw baneful spell work, I actually then push it back through those people deliberately. The hate needs to go where the hate needs to be, you see. And this is why they always want to maintain the wealth that was built off corrupted energy. Another smaller lock message that's coming to a close. The metal has been tested. They've been exposed. Barcode in reverse and lore in reverse, you see. Yeah. Somebody needs to paint a new picture because the lies of what they've told is not going to stick. I'm being told, oh, yeah, somebody needs to look out for, there's a politician who's a Tory that has criminal links that's going to be exposed in this situation too, actually. Tipping is significant today, as in cow tipping. I believe there's a story associated with that person from back in the day, but also they got you know, tips or gifts in a political campaign, which now feeds through certain pipelines that they're not going to hide at the end of the day. Purify in reverse, you see, this person will not be able to hide the connections of, I just heard Westminster, I'm so sorry. Look, it's up to them if they try to root it out. It's up to them. Of that there's no doubt. Not accountable for the message I'm being told to deliver at the end of the day. I am a psychic channel medium investigator, okay? So this is one of the things, because somebody thinks I'm a psycho, alright, but I'm not. That's just the projection wounds of people who are afraid of what I can do dot by dot. I'm being told to quickly grab the research and development deck, okay? Because somebody needs a little bit more of a description of who we're dealing with in this situation, because it's a child trafficking ring that's being exposed, which is a big one. It's an international one today. Golden syrup is significant, okay? And I'm not afraid if I die. I've already outlived what I've had to and endured so much more than many people should have in this life so far. So you can slag me all you want for not having a driver's license currently for a car. You can slag me all you want for the fact that I don't have a home that I own right now. You can slag me all you want for the fact that I can be a bit of a diabolical cow. In the fact that I won't feed into this type of system at the end of the day in a way that's going to subjugate me further, okay? So the reason why I have certain gifts, alright, is I have sacrificed so much in order to be able to do what I do. And that is the nature of my heart. I am a protector through and through. No in reverse and power in reverse. And this is part of the problem, you see. They don't want you having any traction in a global capacity, because you will destabilize all of the wealth that was built on those algorithms funded by the Yetzis. Oracle in reverse is true. Prop in reverse too. Yeah, I'm not propping up any propaganda for these types at the end of the day. I will expose them as many as I can, okay? Where? Well, this is the thing, okay? A lot of them want to remain hidden, and that's the story in the upright today. Lumiere is significant, okay? And mark it in the upright, okay? So what will happen is the more that you cast light on these situations, and the more that they're not able to hide, again, going back to I'm sitting energetically with a multi-force task team from multiple different agencies, actually. How are you? It's nice to work with you energetically. Welcome to the club, okay? There's certain things that happen with certain people because we are just the soldiers, the boots on the ground that is needed in this type of spiritual fight. And if you don't believe it's a spiritual fight and it's just a humanitarian fight for you, I respect that level of clarity and disposition in order to have that independent perspective without having to deal with the religious bullshit too. This is why I identify as a spiritualist at the end of the day. I believe in faith-based connections over egoic, toxic structures that will harm other people each and every day. Hiya, collective. You doing okay? When? When are we going to see the bad men go away? Soon. Killer in reverse, you see. They couldn't get the jump done. Periodic table in reverse too, allegedly. So somebody tried to use natural elements in order to be able to unalive somebody in a way that wouldn't get caught, and they would be able to say it was natural causes, okay? Periodic table, so we're talking about cursed salts too. Yeah, no plate. No plate. There's a vehicle where the plates were switched. That is important too. It is a van, the usual colour and all. Somebody's worried about that, but if you're not a certain type of person, that's not your situation, okay? If you're looking at this and you're worried about somebody else's vehicle, just step out of the way. Let's talk about this. There's going to be a serial number on the engine block that's going to match up with the fact that this was a vehicle that was stolen first. Butchers is significant to make sure that we know that it's a refrigeration truck, all told. And it's got to do with, yeah, going back to human movement for the brave and the bold. Nose in reverse, you see. Yeah, they don't know because they're not able to bribe. Yeah, because traffic in reverse. So the people have been caught who've been doing this, okay? And the support is now coming in for those who were attempted to be kidnapped and trafficked away. Calgary is significant today. STD. This is part of the reason why some people will voluntarily try and be trafficked in order to have better access to healthcare respectfully. Forgiveness. Not all those who seek to be trafficked are bad at the end of the day, and not all traffickers are engaged with certain activities, okay? But there's an aunt who's not doing well today. IT in reverse, you see, yeah. Her technology who has exposed who she has been working with in order to be able to hide certain things behind the scenes. When? There's lots of when is it going to happen today? Capacity in reverse. They're trying to block you from being able to have the capacity to get this taken down. Alright, because this is a generational ring that doesn't have any light in. And they're not sound. Secret in the upright, okay? They're part of a secret society, but the support's being pulled from them. I'm being told as of today. Sailor in the upright, okay? When it comes, the name Cummings is significant for somebody. And then we also have Keelty. And then we have we have Boston. And we have the scientific community. Inspiration in reverse, you see, yeah, somebody's not inspired by some of the diabolical shit that these people have been doing deliberately. Anger in reverse, it's true. Yeah. And we're not going to have a go rage about it. We're going to sit down and be cool, calm, collected intellectuals about it when we have to deal with the likes of you. Secret in reverse, you see. Yeah, because we know you're a criminal, actually. You're a predator. There's somebody who's watching my videos who's a predator at the end of the day. They've been watching me since I was a kid, okay? Support. And some of them tried to kill me for sport. When? Multiple times by now, okay? Yeah. Illness. It's a sickness that these people have, okay? I'm not out to lunch, you see. Because somebody used to slag me and say that that's when I was just an empty vessel, actually. I would be out to lunch in a mental capacity because of the people who were around me who were triggering trauma deliberately. Antique. Some of the rarest finds in life, separate, is the fact that some of us have very good insight. I'm able to hold certain objects too, and I'm able to channel messages from past on loved ones if they consent to it and all. I've also held some antique items and, whether in reverse, felt the pain of how their family lines chose to fall. Yours in the upright today. Yes, I have a lot of the Claires. Okay. Label. What's with this? Support. Some people, when they realize the full extent of what you can do, they're going to be like, well, shit, how do we, like, get some brand affiliation on that too? How do we, like, elevate ourselves and try and recorrect the issues of the past? But you have to make sure it's not pinkwashing, because the rainbow community at last. How are you going to have clear, open negotiations or brandings or supports with people if you're helping them in the fight, but you haven't done the potentially donations work or humanities work in order to clean out your CD empire and make it right? What makes you think that you can bribe yourself into a spiritual fight? No? Yeah. Polyamory in reverse, you see. Some of them want to always make you a third party. This is a blank card. It's the only one in here. I know what it is. Passed over in reverse. Somebody, you're a whiz, by the way. You're an absolute whiz. In relation to your brain does stuff that other people can't do, which means that even the passed over loved ones want to speak to you. Soothe in reverse, you see. And this is why it is a hefty weight when you expose things that will topple human sex trafficking rings. Nova in reverse, it's true. Some of them have connections to celebrity communities too. Water in reverse, you see. There's a Scorpio who is in a death cult that is dying, actually. The Scorpio is dying. He's been taken out by his own kind because he wasn't able to be the predator of an apex kind. House in the upright today. I believe this one, he actually has trophies in his house from the humans that he used to unalive and consume, okay? Bird in the upright and God today. Yeah, some of us get spiritual messages direct from deities, okay? Do you know the level of soul work required to do that type of connection work? Okay. The spiritual wealth of that kind of connection. I will take it over any type of situation that makes me worry and participate in certain networks in a way that's going to cause me to feel like I can't be the type of right bardic inspiration that needs to be seen today. Nose in reverse, you see. There's somebody who, label in the upright, who supported the Norse gods, who was a predator, okay? He is getting blood-eagled by his own spiritual team today. He's getting blood-eagled because he is a predator in a big bad way. And he's a criminal too. Which means that he's now having to realize his power is going to you. Radio, Rado, whichever it may be. Plants in reverse. So yeah. Apparently I'm not saying anything actually. I just heard the birds. Somebody's looking for forgiveness. It's not going to happen. Because the props aren't working. There's no proposition that can be done in order to change the past. Yeah, because some of us with diversity will always last. Mind games are in reverse, you see. This person's like, can't I just be a super criminal then? No. It's old news, respectfully. Old new inspiration. What's with this? I'm being told to split the diabolical. 1 sec. Your spirit team are working hard behind the scenes. Give them an offering. Food, beverage, time, energy, or even a scratch card, please. Some of us, when we manifest certain things in life, we live small, but we move big energy, alright? Some of the realest people who are spiritual gifts, you see, are the people who will even just ask your name and buy you a cup of coffee. Do you know how hard it is to live and walk this world and be unsupported, okay? Because ask a trans person who is ADHD with trauma and is psychic just how difficult it can be. Smear campaign in the upright today. Some of them do the worst to us in order to be able to prevent us from having any kind of duality that is in the upright each and every day. Loki is significant today. Apparently some Christians are on their knees, but they do that every day. Some of them are realizing that they won't be able to sing a certain song when it comes to being proved that they were wrong. Sun in the upright, okay? Pardon me. Thank you, Dagda, specifically for helping me to do this type of work energetically. As a survivor of childhood trauma in big bad ways, it's an honor to serve and be able to put my skills to certain use. Hopefully, okay? It doesn't bother me who does or doesn't watch my content at the end of the day. I know what I'm sending out into the ethers in order to be able to protect others. That's enough, okay? Lunar control flow. This is the thing with certain types of spiritual gifts, okay? Some of us, we don't have to make dodgy soul contracts. We just need to actually stand in our authentic nature and the flow will happen, okay? Land grab in reverse, you see. Cultivated space in reverse. Somebody did worse. Mob mentality, peer pressure, bully boys, wall of silence, knowledge, harvest, dirt digging, blackmail, bribe, crime, old boy club. This is a problem with the old boy club, you see. They don't want it to be known where they got their money. Unforeseen elements at play, but empathy can only go so far, respectfully. Musky muskrat behaviour, unfortunately. Cybercrime, criminal activity that either targets or uses technology and networked devices, hacking often done for money or damage to affect profits. From profits to profits and profits and more, I'm being told to quickly pick one from the yes or no deck, and then I'm going to use the shadow work deck to close this door. Ancestors, deities, spirit team specifically, help me to help you to help us in this energy. To those investigation experts working in that collective task force today, I hope you find the solutions you need in order to be able to punch through and get this person sorted and put right, okay? No spotted reputation going bad. Yes, stokes your passion, heart's desire blooming. So, and this is part of the reason why I'm very careful, you see, because I also was a victim of childhood grooming, respectfully. Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean that it didn't exist. This is why in the shadows hides the predators that can't be missed. Five of Cups. To the Death card. To the Queen of Cups. These Yahtzee traffickers thought they were big dogs, silly little pups. Nine of Pentacles to the Empress, you see. Seven of Cups to the Sun. Love ye. Celebration in reverse, okay? Celebrate in private, quietly, so that you can have your joy without having to be snatched away. Do the best you can, okay? Yeah, because the King of Cups in reverse is always going to be hiding off stage in a certain kind of way. And they're always going to have the lies. They're always going to try and get in the way. But the more you move in silence in the right kind of way, the more you're going to have victory in the long term, say. I'm being told that there's a code word and some indications that I need to give in order to help people understand. Yeah, Ace of Swords to the Queen of Swords in the upright, okay? We have a letter-bound journal, which is monogrammed by somebody who is a diabolical sort. It's a masculine in an older secret society. There is a grimoire, a red letter bound, which has been used by the one that was found to have trophies from his victims, actually. There is a thief who is now turned state witness, actually. There's the feminine. She had some objects in her personal boudoir, which were heirloom items of beauty. There's a significant mirror with embellishment, I'm being told. And there's a boar bristle hairbrush, which somebody snatched and sold in order to have the spell work unfold. There's a scrying ball in the upright today, but there's also a skull with weird symbols on it, which seem like they may be known, but it's actually from multiple different fates or purposes, and some of them are private sigils that need to be looked at by a subject matter expert. Bones are significant today. Yeah. Shout out to the Smithsonian, okay? Generosity to the High Priestess, you see. It's coming up to 44 minutes on this timer, respectfully. Being told to knock and split. Eight of Cups in reverse, that bit. Slán agus Banach Dasaru is Mr. Ron Catan Daly, and I have so much respect for you. High ringing in the left ear today. Trust your intuition, you're doing better than you can, okay? There's fish skeletal remains in a rubbish bin out the back of a property which has a kitchen, actually, which is going to be added to the evidence, I'm being told today. Salmon in the upright, okay? For when it comes to the salmon leap of knowledge today, some of us naturally have access to certain gifts that other people have to snatch in the eaters, okay? I'm being told to pull last section from the Nefarious deck. 555, I said a change would do you good. Someone is projecting onto you. Childhood wins. True and true. Slán, take care. And just know that I care.